A company sells a single product which has a contribution of 27 naira per unit and a contribution to sales ratio of 50%. If the break-even analysis is 60,000 naira, what is the company's fixed cost for the period? Yeah, so this question is on break-even point analysis and also the cost volume profit analysis. There are some formulas we have to use when dealing with a question on break-even points and cost volume profit analysis. So we'll just break down this question so as to explain the different formulas and how we have to apply it to questions whenever you come across such question. So here the question asks us to determine the company's fixed cost for the period. So when we are calculating a break-even point question, when we are asked to calculate anything under break-even, okay, yeah, they said, yeah, we're told that the break-even sales is 60,000 naira. So when we are calculating break-even, as break-even, BEP. So BEP is break-even points. So there is we can calculate our break-even on sales, like in naira, and we can also calculate it in units. And in the activity level units, can be in units. Yes, it can be in units, can also be in or any activity level that is given. So the first thing we apply now is break-even in units. When we have to calculate break-even in units, the formula we use is the total fixed cost. So TFC refers to total fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Yes, divided by contribution per unit. And to get our contribution per unit is just the selling price of the particular unit. Yes, the selling price per unit of the product. Then we deduct our variable cost per unit from it also. So if we are given a question, we can always just write down the formula and then fix in whatever figure we are given for a particular item. So we go back to the question. We are asked to calculate the total fixed cost. That means BEP. Okay. And when we are also let me talk about the second formula when we are calculating BEP in naira. So is it that I tell you, okay, they will always say BEP in sales. Yes, in sales. So we use naira here since I'm in Nigeria. So when we are calculating BEP in sales, the formula for calculating this is total fixed cost. Then we divide it by the contribution margin ratio. Yes, contribution margin ratio. This CMR, that is the contribution margin ratio, we can also call it contribution to sales ratio. So contribution to, and it is written as a C/S. Okay, you can always say CMR or contribution to sales ratio. Yes, this is it. And to get our CMR or contribution to sales ratio, it is calculated as the contribution divided by the selling price. Contribution divided by the selling price, or you just say contribution divided by sales, or contribution per unit divided by the selling price, contribution per unit divided by the sales. So that's it. So we go back to the question. We're asked to calculate the company's fixed cost for the period. So in this question, we're given the break-even sales. That's this formula. That means we're using this formula. If I had to bring this formula out, BEP in sales, they already told us that BEP in sales is 60,000 naira. 60,000 naira. So we're asked to calculate the total fixed cost. So the total fixed cost will remain. Then we also said that CMR can also be said to be our contribution to sales ratio. And we're given in this question that our contribution to sales ratio is 50%. CS ratio is 50%. I know 50% can also be written as 0.5. So we just come down here and divide it by 0.5. So the next thing we do is to just cross multiply. Okay, let's do the basic. When we cross multiply, this one will multiply this. That's 60,000 naira multiplied by 0.5. That is our total fixed cost. So our total fixed cost will be 0.5 times 60,000. So this will give us 30,000 naira. So the answer to this question is C. That's 30,000. That's the total fixed cost for the period. So move on to the next question now.